Their voices have remained underrepresented in land governance, climate policy, and decision-making spaces.
Very distinguished gathering where the women from the pastoralist communities, who themselves are women, have come together to discuss, share ideas on how to change the livelihoods at household level in line with the government policies and government programs. So therefore, I call upon all of you men who are here to listen to our voices and also reach out to other men who may not be here and let them understand that the meeting here, though it is pastoralist women, at the end of the day, it's to benefit the family, including the men, the girl children, and the boy children. I am glad that the gathering here has attracted over 200 participants from the northern and sub-Saharan, west, central, eastern, and southern regions of Africa, representing grassroots pastoralist women, leaders, government officials, and civil society organizations committed to advancing gender justice, climate resilience, and equitable land governance across Africa. I therefore, at this moment, like to recognize the participation of representatives from Benin, Cameroon, Kenya, South Sudan, Tanzania, most importantly, of course, Uganda.
Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital needs 1.3 billion shillings to replace the leaking roof. While appearing before the Public Accounts Committee to answer queries in the Auditor General's report for year ending June 2025, the Acting Executive Director, Dr. Sam Ononge, said it is very dangerous for staff. Take a look as Farid and Guitabinji report.
Management of Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital have appeared before the Public Accounts Committee to answer queries in the Auditor General's report for 2024-25. In the report, the hospital requested for 33 billion shillings, which was disbursed. However, on non-taxable revenues, the hospital collected 9.8 billion and transferred 9.05 billion shillings to the Treasury. The members of Parliament squeezed officials to explain the balance they did not transfer, who responded that some amount was taxed by URA because allowances paid to staff had not been taxed.
Knowledge that we did not meet the target during the waiver, during that period, and as I mentioned, one is the waiver. We had a waiver of 1.7 billion, which is actually a big amount of money.
But you transferred 9 billion, 54 million, 561, 870 shillings. So the first question is, why was less transfer?
So the difference between those two is 746,347,290. That one is accounted for by two elements. There is an element of URA 290,432,640. There is also an accrued revenue of 455,914,650.
Because the law is very specific. Where you did not deduct, you as an entity are liable, but you're only given an opportunity to withhold subsequently from those workers.
But the chair, where you find that really an accountant who is aware that allowances in the form of benefits are taxed, then he comes here. If it was
The query on inadequate staffing indicates that out of 971 required staff, only 442 positions were filled. The hospital wants human resource of at least 60%. The acting executive director, Dr. Sam Ononge, told the committee that at the neonatal unit, the ratio of one nurse to a baby is 1:6, and 45% of the babies admitted are less than 32 weeks.
I just gave an example of the neonatal unit. Neonatal unit where you have different categories of patients. The critically sick requires like 1:1. But as we stand off now, we are like 1:6. One nurse to 6 babies, which is unbearable. The staffs are getting burnout, and you can easily make mistakes when you're providing basically the services.
As in the neonatal, but I saw what happens there. When, how do you call it, those incubators, when an incubator goes off, the time at times for you might be lucky that it's somehow automatic. But in Masaka Regional Referral Hospital, it goes off for 5 minutes. I'm telling you, scuffle. We lose lives, people die.
surgeons in this specialized unit, it's something that there is no way you can provide medical services without surgery.
The hospital has an infrastructure defect of a leaking roof.
Infrastructure defects in the roofing. When rain comes, as an ED of the facilities, you're just worried which place is going to leak now. There was designer challenges where the roofing, the nails were put in the valley, and with the aging process, when there is any leakage, there is actually water pouring into the facility. And about this, contacted Health Infrastructure Division of Ministry of Health. They have assessed and they have actually recommended that the roof needs to be replaced completely at 1.3 billion.
In a medium term, the hospital wants to expand its IVF unit to have couples donate over.
To have couples donate gametes, donate over, for those who are not able to, because there are people who do not have at all any eggs, but there's a possibility that I can bring a sister who can donate, then it is stored there and I can receive it. That is really will be very key. But also
when 11 couples that have successfully been managed by you in terms of fertility challenges. But you say the provision or the exercise is very costly. You've not told us. What does it take?
The committee also queried the hospital management on the delayed submission of reports, shortfalls in delivery of vaccines, delayed disposal of expired drugs. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji at Parliament.
Thank you so much, Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji. In more stories, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has met the chairman of China First Highway Engineering Company, one of the Chinese road contractors in Uganda. Now, she thanked the team for the good works they have done in Uganda. Take a look at the story.
The Chinese companies are the leading road contractors in Uganda, with a number of successful projects like Entebbe Expressway. Today, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, received the chairman of the China First Highway Engineering Company, one of the Chinese road contractors in Uganda.
I want to take this opportunity to appreciate and thank the company for the good work they have done in our country. We have a number of projects that have been managed, which projects are ranked among the best.
They informed the Prime Minister that they have since constructed roads worth $2 billion.
To date, we have completed more than 30 high-quality projects in Uganda. Total contract value exceeds 2.1 billion, and currently have 15 projects under construction, with more than $170 million.
However, the Prime Minister was concerned about the Chinese company which constructed the Isimba Dam.
I remember when we were in Sanja, we talked about the project of the Isimba Dam. I remember complaining when we were in China that that work was not properly done.
Right Honorable, actually for Isimba, it's managed by another team.
It's another team, but under
中水对外这个水利工程这个事情呢，
about Isimba hydropower, the company CWE, you know, CCCC in the high level, they put more attention on that project. Recently, they also will send some high level people to come to solve the problem. Our group, CFACEC, we will give their support to the high quality works. If the government needs, we do something there.
Last week, Nabanja, together with the State Minister for Works, Musa Echweru, inspected Kampala roads under construction, including Sentema Road, where she discovered some defects.
The road from Kasubi, that Kasubi road which I monitored last week, is not good. For me, I don't deceive, I talk my heart. And that's why I'm a Prime Minister. If something is not good, it's not good. We want that work done very well.
他希望我们高质量的。
刚才您谈到的这个是
about Sentema Road, where we will about you know, when you inspect the problem on site, we will put more attention to the community. We should solve the problem for the community.
Now, Parliament has passed the Copyright and Neighbouring Rights Amendment Bill 2025 to enhance the economic freedom of artists. The long-awaited legislation seems a game-changer for artists to benefit from original creation. If passed into law, artists and creative makers will redeem royalties through the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. As you're about to watch, since Daniel Mugoya and Gloria have a detailed report.
Parliament erupted in a moment of chants and cheers as musicians and various artists celebrated the passing of the Copyright and Neighbouring Rights Amendment Bill 2025. Led by the Uganda Musicians Federation President Edrisa Musuza, also known as Eddie Kenzo, the artists seem relieved by the new legislation.
But we are thank God that we are in a digital era and we have a digital system organization that is going to be following up, collaborating with the government agencies that is in place, UCC, URSB.
Really big milestone. We really want to thank God. We really want to thank the Parliament. We really need to thank the Member of Parliament who have been a voice to this. And we want to thank every artist who has added a voice and has been so active to really reaching this milestone.
Speaker Anita Among chaired the plenary sitting to consider the bill, which will mandate the Uganda Registration Services Bureau (URSB) to collect royalties through the copyright management system.
Which money will go to a collecting management organization? Those are collecting management organizations, are organizations which are going to be collecting this money. Then that money is calculated and given to the performers whose music was played.
The initiative ensures the creative sector benefits from their works.
The musicians will be able to track how much is owed to them through their CMOs, because every artist, every creator, whether you're a writer, whether you're an artist, whether you're a comedian, you have a collective management organization.
The Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs wanted the bill to regulate artificial intelligence, but the Attorney General Chirwa Chiwanuka objected. The controversial Clause 9 was settled in agreement that broadcasters using the works of the artists should pay royalties.
We have time, we go to radios and TVs, we shall try to see that we tell them what to do. We tell them what has been in the law. They they decide whether to celebrate or to go back and get more power to fight.
The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, urged the authorities to ensure that the intended legislation is fully implemented.
So the bills gather dust and they're not acted upon. And then the excitement ends up fading. I hope we don't get to that point.
The Corporates and Neighboring Rights Amendment Bill 2025 was first tabled by Mawokota North MP Chiaga Hillary. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Daniel Mugoya and Gloria Gutabinji. Traders in Masindi municipality woke up to a tense morning as municipal authorities, backed by police, began demolishing temporary shops and structures along the town's main streets. Many vendors who had set up makeshift businesses along verandas and road reserves were forced to watch as their livelihoods were destroyed. Take a look.
Municipal Town Clerk Daniel Cassava said the exercise is aimed at restoring order in the town following a surge of people from rural areas trading along the streets. Cassava explained that the exercise is part of a nationwide campaign to decongest urban centers.
It means that we must put the town back to order. When we went to Bushenyi, we had a meeting of all town clerks in Uganda. And the secretary to the cabinet, Madame Nachove, instructed us to put trade order. The PS Minister of Local Government has also written and he has given us directives to put trade order. So there is an influx of people from the rural areas, rural-urban migration. So we have to remove business from the streets. We want to get organized. We have been disorganized. A person is cutting a puta here, the other one is selling clothes. This one is selling meat, the other one is selling the onions. So there must be a level of trade order to put our people in an organized form of business. So we want to clean the markets. We also want to enforce the laws. And it is not only in Masindi, it is everywhere.
The municipality, however, says the operation will continue until all non-compliant structures are cleared.
It is only those who are resisting where we shall use our enforcement to put things right.
But for the traders, the move has brought anxiety and anger. Other traders expressed frustration.
So when we are done with
In more news, authorities in Cassava district have arrested a health worker over alleged theft of government medical supplies, including life-saving antiretroviral drugs. Nsamba Swamad, an assistant nursing officer at Cassava Health Center 4, was reportedly found with large quantities of drugs hidden in a pit latrine at a private clinic in Bukoya Trading Center. Take a look.
Not for sale.
According to the National Drug Authority, the recovered items include more than 100,000 doses of ARVs, 15,000 doses of aspirin, and 400 HIV testing kits.
Tekibadde kirungi neera nebaza gavumenti olw'okubeera nti ekozesezza abantu baayo okulaba ebifo by'ensonga zino. Eruba nti eddagala lijja kuyamba ate bannayuganda. Kati ate abakozi ne babeera nga so be bamu abenyigira mu mbeera eno tekitusanyusa nga ffe abakulembeze. N'olwekyo ekiba nga kikoleddwa okuba asobole okugenda oba okutwalibwa nga bebagambye basobole okwongera okunoonyereza ku kino naye nvumirira ne sekuvumirira kyonna eddagala lino libalize kuyamba community ate naffe tusobole okusurviving. N'olwekyo tekinsanyusiza naka.
The arrest followed a targeted operation by the authority aimed at curbing the theft of medicines from public health facilities. Swamad is currently in police custody and is expected to appear before the Machinda Utilities Court to face charges related to illegal possession of government stores.
Bumire ko by'abakozi ba government okubanga n'eddagala fe abalwadde usanga batitirina wadagala mu ddwaliro ate ng'abakozi ba government bagatwala ku clinic paka lezo. Kale n'ekikolwa ekyo so government ekyongeremu amaanyi.
Over the past 6 years, drugs worth more than 15 billion shillings have been recovered, with more than 60 suspects arrested, many of them health workers.
We thank the authorities for doing a tremendous job to make sure that the right people get the right medicine from the right facilities. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Netamong, has directed the Public Accounts Committee, COSASE, to interrogate KCC officials who will appear tomorrow on the demolition of a section of St. Balikudembe Market. During a plenary sitting, legislators raised concern about the ongoing demolitions at St. Balikudembe Market, commonly known as Owino, and the frequent market fires. Take a look.
On March 7th, 2026, unknown individuals using excavators demolished a section of St. Balikudembe Market, commonly known as Owino Market. The destruction affected structures along the Nachivubo Channel, leaving traders displaced. Later on yesterday, a fire gutted Katwe Market, leaving traders' merchandise destroyed. Police have arrested several suspects and investigations are ongoing, but members of parliament say the situation in Owino Market is unresolved.
I called the ED, who later told me that she had actually given a demolition order or permit to the developer. We lost a life there. Someone died. And I hear now there are 2 that died. So we need a thorough report from the minister.
Legislators are also questioning the persistent fires in city markets.
How would you help this challenge? When we had the fire gutting schools, Ministry of Education had a lot of directives on schools having fire extinguishers, and indeed it has solved some problems. But these people continue crying to government to help them, and we are not getting good information from government. Could we know what is happening in the KCCA? A lot of markets are catching fire, and people are losing a lot of property and money.
The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, says KCCA must ensure protection and organization of traders.
A short while later, a few days later, KCCA now went back and they said, these people, they demolished in a not very good way, so let's finish the demolition. That was KCCA itself. And so people have been reaching out to us and saying, do help us. KCCA came and said they have arrested those who were demolishing. Now they came back and they said, let's finish the job. The other ones need to do it very well.
But Speaker Anita Monk noted that since KCCA officials will appear before COSASE, comprehensive answers are expected following the committee's findings.
Interrogate KCCA on those matters and then you will report back. We already have a committee of COSASE handling KCCA. So it will not be good for us to form another committee.
It's up with KCCA, with the Ministry for Kampala, and ask them to make a report to Parliament.
In the meantime, the leader of opposition also raised concerns about the conduct of security operatives in alleged abductions of Ugandans.
The young lady called Natabi Fauzia, she's wife to the personal assistant of the Honorable Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert. The home of this personal assistant was raided by men in UPDF uniform. One of them identified himself as SFC with his ID. Up to now, we don't know where this young lady is. Do summon people. But when you go and you pick up people, and you don't take them to gazetted detention facilities, it's a problem.
Rebecca Nantongo, Gloria Gwitabinji, at Parliament.
Thank you so much, Gloria and Nantongo, for the report from Parliament. UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Mukyala
wanje daddy
Okimanyi nti abaana batuuse okudda ku masomero naye ssente zibuze. Kakati ky'oba okola twalayo ekitundu kya fiizi ku ssomero lya junior. Eza van tunaazisasula oluvannyuma.
Naye Daddy, lwaki tetusasula nga tukozesa Momo? Etuwa n'omukisa oguwangula school fees za mwaka mulamba bweddu n'okusingawo. Ate nno mwattu osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku Momo. Mpozi n'ekirala essomero erikozesa Momo lisobola okwewangulira van.
Ekyo kyennyini wangula school fees wa mwaka mulamba n'okusingawo. Ate nga n'amasomero agakozesa Momo galina omukisa okuwangula vaani ko n'ebirabo ebirala 1000. Osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku Momo. Nyiga star *165 star 8 noti hashi oba kozesa Momo app.
It's back, bigger and with more business opportunities. It's the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, Poate 2026, Uganda's flagship tourism event. Poate 2026 will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026 at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme Wanderlust. It's your time to thrive. Yes, it's your time to tap into Uganda's renewed optimism and tourism growth. Tourism stakeholders, travel trade partners, and tourism enthusiasts will be part of the Poate 2026. Come and network with like-minded people and unlock new business opportunities. To participate, register at www.poate.co.ug. Poate 2026 is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board and partners.
Thank you for still watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, and Nakakoni Elizabeth on Sign Language. In more stories, Uganda Railways Corporation has received bids for the rehabilitation of the railway track under the East African Community Railway Rehabilitation Project. While supervising the process, project coordinator Stephen Wakasenza noted that the procurement is being conducted in line with the African Development Bank guidelines. Sigowa and Juma have a detailed report.
The East African Rail Rehabilitation Project is a flagship regional initiative financed by the African Development Bank at a cost of $300 million.
What we have witnessed today is the opening of bids of track rehabilitation, that big component within the project. It is responsible for close to 38 to 40% of the project cost. And this opens the way for the physical work to start.
The project focuses on the rehabilitation and modernization of Uganda's meter gauge railway network, particularly along the Northern Corridor. The tender has attracted 5 bidders: China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation and Hui Hong Leader Construction Engineering, China Road and Bridge Corporation, Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, and China Railway 7th Group. But none of them is Ugandan. So why?
If we are to modernize, we are looking at having new technologies coming on board. Where are we going to get it locally? We have to rely on other firms, and especially the ones that are beyond us in technology, to support us with this. So when it comes to the local firms, what has been included in this project is joint ventures. The automated level crossings, that could be done in conjunction with the joint venture. The fencing, because the project entails fencing of the rail corridor, the bidders will have to partner with the local firm. So there is that option within the project.
Key railway sections under the project include Jinja Malaba, Kampala Port Bell, and Kampala Chengera. The scope of works covers rehabilitation of tracks, construction of supporting infrastructure, installation of modern safety systems, environmental resilience, marine and logistics infrastructure improvements. Dennis Igoa and Juman Samba for UBC.
The Deputy President of People's Front for Freedom, Lulume Baiga, has announced a new strategy to strengthen party structures ahead of the 2026 LC1 elections. Speaking at a press conference in Kampala, Baiga says that the party will roll out structures from the national level to villages and participate in the LC1 elections. Take a look.
President of the People's Front for Freedom, Lulume Baiga, describes the local council polls as key in building grassroots leadership.
And we resolved to participate in the local council 1, LC1 elections. And we have directed that our leaders at the local level undertake to give technical advice and to prepare our candidates nationwide to participate and take over the local council 1 elections, because these are the building blocks of the Uganda that we want. And that is going to be the gift the PFF will give Ugandans, to give leadership at the primary level.
Baiga also called for unity among opposition groups, with plans to engage political, culture and religious leaders in a collective response to the shrinking political space.
You know, the PFF was born a few months before we went into a general election. Therefore, people didn't get enough time to spread out our gospel. The gospel of sharing power and devolution of power through federalism, where people should feel safe with their natural endowment.
He downplayed intimidation, arrests and co-option of leaders as a strategy to weaken the opposition.
This is intended to prevent any kind of opposition in Uganda, and a bid to renew their desire to have a one-party state the way it was in 1986.
He was optimistic the party will intensify legal and political activism while promoting federalism as a solution to Uganda's governance challenges.
We adopted dialogue because this is the virtue that we espouse, and we think that this dialogue cannot be restricted to inter-party dialogue. It is going to be to extend its hand to other facets within this country. The dialogue with the cultural leaders, the dialogue with the religious leaders, other political forces, the dialogue with the international agencies on democracy, including the Democracy Union of Africa, International Democracy Union, African Union, all meant to have our country deliver for us.
For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
About a dozen of former National Unity Platform parliamentary candidates in Lango sub-region who defected to support the NRM candidates in the just concluded general elections are demanding to meet President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The group was convinced by veteran NRM cadre Ongwech Moses. Take a look.
During the election of 2026, me, myself, Ongwech Moses, I took a position because I was seeing very many areas and very many ways about the way the campaign was going to be. Then I said, no, I'm not going to allow my people to suffer because we have been in war for very many years. In our discussion, then we came up with about 3 demand proposals, which later I told them that the proposal, I'm going to table it to the party members. One, it was the money which they used during the campaign, the reimbursement. 2, if there's any opportunity for job creation, maybe they can give part of them, if those who have good papers. 3, you know, being a party like the other where we have been, NUP, you know, also they have their demand. They may have some threat and then whatever, then they say, if there's something come which is not in favor of you people, we can provide you people security.
I want the president to meet them, me and them together, 13 in number. I want to meet the His Excellency President, so that the president can say thank you. And the reimbursement which they did, they are surviving up to now. So I want the president to do that. They're supposed to pay me, they can't pay the last election. This recent election, I think they used 1.5 billion. So if I did a good job, you're supposed to pay me 20% of the money they used. Because I've already given them a work plan. And I want that money. And I'm very serious. Because I'm a cadre. I was a cadre. I'm a very serious person.
The district offices of the ruling NRM in Oyam district have been closed by a section of party loyalists escalating internal tensions over alleged financial mismanagement and leadership wrangles. The closure comes amid growing frustration among grassroots members who accuse district leaders of failing to respond to their concerns. We have a detailed report from Olwa.
The usually busy NRM district office in Oyama is now under lock and key. Party supporters say they shut down the office after what they described as month of unanswered complaints over alleged mismanagement of party funds by district leaders.
It is today that we are declaring Oyam NRM office corruption-free.
There is a claim over repeated appeals for accountability.
We have submitted our petition and has taken over 2 weeks. But you'll find that when you are ringing the office of the NRM Secretariat to ensure that they react on the same, they don't want. We believe there are some godfathers of the chairperson at the Secretariat. That's why the NRM issues of Oyam cannot be handled.
Without our support, the NRM wouldn't have come here today. Our fear is what the chairman is doing. If he's misusing funds, where will the NRM go?
In the recently concluded elections, the NRM lost 2 parliamentary seats, the district LC5 chairperson, 10 LC3 chairpersons, and the mayoral seat for Yam Town Council. Local party loyalists now blame the poor performance on leadership gaps.
The chairman doesn't sit in office. As you reach here, you found the office was occupied by chicken. That means the office of the NRM is being utilized for keeping chicken, not even for poultry. They are not coming to the office. That means they are not even organized. Ever since the presidential election, there is nothing like meeting, which have been carried out by the chairman.
Some supporters say the party risks losing ground. Attempts to resolve the dispute through mediation by the RDC's office repeatedly ended without agreement until the office was closed.
People whom we are accusing of this kind of act, corruption, the name is corruption, they have failed to surface, and meaning now they are making the work of the RDC to be hard, the work of the district to be very hard, because every time these people did not come only to plead to them.
Ediulwa, UBC News.
But we have got the anti-corruption, of which are the team from the entire sub-county in Oyam.
Stakeholders advocating for women's rights are calling for stronger policy implementation to address persistent challenges affecting women and girls across the East African region. The call was made during a policy dialogue organized by the Horizon 3000 in partnership with CARE International, bringing together women leaders, activists, and development partners from the West Nile, Karamoja, and Acholi sub-region. Take a look.
An engagement held to mark International Women's Day 2026 aims to boost collaboration with the Ministry of East African Community Affairs in implementing commitments under the East African Community Treaty and Gender Policy.
the issues of markets, products, the standards, the quality, and the markets you would find what. And we'll be like telling them of the different ways that we financials provide this information to the women groups and ensure that the women benefit. We have also told them about the Juakali Mukaz, which is a regional exhibition that moves to maneuver around. The last one we had it in Kenya, and in Uganda 2 years ago we had it in Uganda, then we went to South Sudan, and there we encourage small, medium, small, micro, small, and medium business owners, and most of them are women. We encourage them, we register them, take them abroad, or we it's going to take place here in Uganda. We encourage them, they come, so they come and display what they did. And in so doing, they also learn from others who are doing the same things.
Participants highlighted key concerns including limited women's participation in leadership, unequal access to land, economic barriers, and the continued prevalence of gender-based violence.
Really bank all the opportunities which are coming up through this partnership, through the quality standard, through the support of the ministry, as well in terms of opening markets, cooperation on national as well as on an East African level. And we hope for the continued support of the ministry and the cooperation of the partners and stakeholders, being as leaders, being through the organizations, as well as the ministry once again, and to ensure effective participation and growth of women businesses, so that we move forward and achieve the development of goals which we have set.
While policies exist at national and regional levels, implementation is a challenge.
But also, second, is also to look at the issues of GBD around the women, because this affects issues around participation, issues around trade, issues about self-esteem, issues about their health. And would like to see that this is also handled. This is, we have a treaty, and we know that Article 5E, as well as Article 121 and 122 within the treaty provide for this. So we need to make use of it and relate and say that the women empowerment issues around gender equality brought into the thinking and they're acted upon. And we are happy to note that there is now also a gender seal.
They appeal to the East African community governments to enforce gender policies and ensure women and girls have equal opportunities. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
A partnership has been launched in Kampala to advance gender-responsive climate action. The partnership at the UN Women offices in Kampala brought together legislators from the Parliamentary Forum on Climate Change, Uganda, and the UN Women.
Climate change has disproportionately affected women and girls, despite their role in adaptation and mitigation efforts.
The climate crisis is already having gendered impacts on women and girls in Uganda. Therefore, Parliament has a critical role to play in addressing these impacts through legislation, budgeting, and oversight. Uganda has made global and regional commitments to gender-responsive climate action, including under the United Nations Climate Framework.
The partnership amplifies women's voices in climate policy, promote data-driven and inclusive decision-making, and strengthen Parliament's capacity to address climate and peace issues.
So as members of Parliament, we're supposed to look into not only this strategy, but all strategies related to climate change and gender, and be able to simplify them, share the information in local languages, and at all time incorporate the plans within our communications, local communications.
The institutions will collaborate to mobilize resources and build stronger partnerships to support gender and climate initiatives.
In terms of
the tools that are necessary for budget tracking. We will be supporting the committee on that, and this is very important because it will assist in mitigation and adaptation at community level.
We'll also support training for newly elected members of parliament to integrate gender into climate legislation, budgeting and oversight, as well as induction and training sessions for MPs.
The information gap, I'm confident that along the way, resources will come.
We need a lot of information, we need a lot of research, and I believe this partnership is going to help us get all this information.
What's the parish, when we talk about the parish agreement, what are the key silent issues that we need to cascade into our operations? When we do this, I think we shall actually better and ensure that we have something to show.
The collaboration is a step towards inclusive and sustainable climate action in Uganda.
Mama, owulira otya?
Mpulira essanyu lingi nnyo.
Bannange.
Bannange MTN neyanzizza.
Taata w'omwana ogenda mugambako oba waali wano?
Taliiwo. Ssente ze mbadde ngenda okusasula ku school fees z'omukulu zigenda kunnyambako okuweerera batoobe abalala ababiri. MTN mama genkoledde kinene ng'asinga omumaama sirigyerabira obulamu bwange bwonna.
Ngenda kusibira okusasula school fees nyiga star 155 star 80 ashi sasula school fees ngokozesa momo school funds masoma tugenda zigaba osobola okwewola waliwo school fees loan genda ofune loan oba tolinawo ssente ozisasule mu bbanga mpola mpola obulamu butambulenga bulikona.
For 100 years, Nyakasura School has shaped minds, built character, and raised generations of leaders.
My name is Patrick Bidature. I'm the chairman of the alumni, and I am delighted to be telling you today that on the 26th of March, we celebrate something truly extraordinary. 100 years of Nyakasura School. So I call upon every old boy to make a contribution. Whatever it takes, let's make this a historic moment.
Send your donation to Equity Bank account 101320303891. For details, contact Samuel Kazova on 0772 636293. Nyakasura School, celebrating 100 years of excellence.
From the hands that nurture the land to the minds shaping tomorrow, Value Addition is about advancing the well-being of people. It's about unlocking opportunities that create dignified work, strengthen livelihoods, empower families, and build resilient communities.
Kera doka koyo kampuni mabigino ni timo moka ken mutie total magitele wimo pi paro pe dano gitika timo gin maber ni paro pe kopa dano man kid gitika timo pin maber ni daro chan godikum dano.
In January I did my first harvest. From there, I got some good honey, around 10 liters from only one beehive.
Project mo watiti mune eni, bojome total ni branch pe MSL ula hoko pa group. Ian chairman kumbeti board group, kere wa me saving, pedak yilu wita pitwa. Awa po chairman ene wa tiar wa saving ai group. Wa chel wa romo no million maromo piare okuwe. We kidwe ano at least watika no profit more like na 1.2 gini.
Welcome back to UBC News Tonight, and you're watching me, Sharon Kyomugisha, with Nakakoni Elizabeth on sign language. And from the business desk, the government of Sweden has supported Uganda with 360,000 euros, equivalent to 1.5 billion Ugandan shillings, to support Ugandan youth in the coffee production value chain. The Wheel 2-year support targets at least 500 young people in coffee farmer cooperatives. Take a look.
Fairtrade Africa will implement the Strengthening Youth Participation in Coffee Cooperatives in Uganda project with funding from the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA. During the launch of the project in Wakiso district, the Swedish ambassador to Uganda, Maria Hakansson, said the aim is to support Uganda's coffee production and enable young people find opportunities in the coffee sector.
The project here, we're talking about the fair trade. We specifically work with the 3 Ugandan coffee cooperatives. And in addition of resulting in more young members holding leadership positions in the cooperatives, it will also inform local authorities about priorities needed to meet the needs of young coffee farmers. Youth in the coffee cooperatives will also have made their voice heard after participating in national and regional platforms and network meetings.
Fairtrade Africa Operations Manager Faith Muthoni says the project targets at least 500 youth from Fairtrade certified farmers cooperatives in Chotera, Rakai, Kasese, Mbale and Duda.
We are looking at up to 15 Fairtrade certified cooperatives in Uganda. And once you get some resources to implement a project, you need to work with a scope that allows you to have an impact, for that particular project. So in this particular case, we had to pick 3, and we had to look at who are the current members of Fairtrade Africa, and we prioritize based on risks.
The chairman, Uganda FT Network, John Nwagaba, emphasized the need for the EU to soften rules on organic coffee taken from Uganda.
Seeing maybe the ambassador has to relay to the European Union is some of the regulations are so tight, especially the organic regulations. We are having an uphill task. So if EU can review and also work with the certifiers, like last year alone for us as Ankore, almost 70% of the revenue from organic went to meet the cost of certifications. So does it make a sense for me to go into organic? So maybe we need a review on the side of EU, also to regulate the certifiers.
Uganda produces 8.2 million bags of coffee, but government has an ambitious target of reaching 20 million bags by the year 2030.
Any ministry from
In more business stories, cassava farmers in Nakasongola district say Pure Organic Agrotech Limited, a cassava processing company, has improved their income and created a reliable market. Cassava, a subsistence crop, has become a source of household income. Take a look.
Cassava farming in Nakasongola district is gradually shifting from subsistence production to a commercial enterprise, largely due to the presence of Pure Organic Agrotech Limited, which has created a reliable market for farmers. In the past, farmers struggled to sell surplus cassava during bumper harvests and sometimes used the excess as animal feed. Today, many report improved sales and a more stable income. Richard Lule, a cassava trader and director of Team Baogo Company, says his livelihood has improved since he began supplying cassava to the factory. He notes that increased demand has boosted prices, enabling many farming households to meet essential needs such as school fees and basic family expenses.
yalinyisaamuko muwogo omukalu bamwetaaga n'omubisi bamwetaaga kati omuntu waayagadde waagwa.
However, he says farmers need more mechanization, especially tractors, to help expand production. Wandira Edward Godfrey, a farmer and trader from Machumo village in Wabinyonyi sub-county, says cassava trading has improved his standard of living. He has been able to buy a motorcycle and support his children's education.
Myself, I had no motorcycle. At first, I got that motorcycle in 2020. It was for the loan. I started as a border rider, but I reached the capacity where I cannot even manage to ride that motorcycle. I joined Cassava. I buy cassava, as also at the same time I dig my cassava.
Officials from Pura say the company works with farmers through an outgrower system to ensure a steady supply of cassava for industrial starch processing.
Our capacity is 100 tons per day, but we have found the challenge that our farmers around here have not been able to provide that capacity of 100 tons per day. So we are extending our services about growing to areas surrounding Nakasongola, Chiliandongo, Masindi, Ruwero, Nakaseke, Kayunga, any other parts of which growing cassava around here can deliver it to our factory here. We are buying each kilogram currently at 400 shillings per kilogram, delivered at the gate. That is fresh cassava roots. And
mukyalo
wanje daddy
okimanyi nti abaana batuuse okudda ku masomero naye sente zibuze kakati ky'oba okola twalayo ekitundu kya fiizi ku ssomero lya junior eza van tunaazisasula oluvannyuma
naye daddy lwaki tetusasula nga tukozesa momo etuwa n'omukisa oguwangula school fees za mwaka mulamba bweddu n'okusingawo ate nno mwattu osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo mpozi n'ekirala essomero erikozesa momo lisobola okwewangulira vaani
kyekyo kyennyini wangula school fees wa mwaka mulamba n'okusingawo ate nga n'amasomero agakozesa momo galina omukisa okuwangula vaani ko n'ebirabo ebirala 1000 osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo nyiga star *165 star 8 noti hashi oba kozesa momo app.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
And welcome to the last segment of UBC News Tonight, where the 2026 I&M Bank Katogo Golf Series has started at the Entebbe Club with a firm commitment from the bank to stay a further 3 years and a tour to South Africa confirmed. John Ban Sentamo with a report.
Nearly 200 golfers turned up for the season opener of the Katogo Golf Series at Entebbe Club over the weekend. The competition, played under a new format dubbed It's Up to Me, saw Moses Sebugwao post an impressive 56 count back to win the men's overall category, while Charity Atuhaire topped the ladies' event. During the event, title sponsors I&M Bank Uganda announced the extension of their partnership with the series for another 3 years.
So 2026 is actually going to be different. One, I've talked about the communities that we are going to support, and you'll be seeing more work beyond the school fees initiatives. You're going to see us enhance the lighting at the 18th hole. You're going to see that being enhanced, and very soon we'll be actually having the longest drive challenges by June.
The bank also confirmed that this year's cross-border leg will take golfers to Sun City Golf Resort in South Africa this coming September.
I am so excited. I am so happy. Thanks to I&M for sponsoring this tournament. Thanks to all the partners that have been part of this. It's been memorable, it's been nice, and I am so happy to have been the overall winner.
Enjoyed the format of play because I was gaining advantage in the tee-off category and also the drives. I really enjoyed myself, scored very well, and hence declared the overall winner.
The tournament attracted about 196 golfers and marks the start of a busy season expected to further grow the Katogo golfing community. The next leg of the series returns on May 30th.
Well, that's all we had for you during this bulletin. For more news coming your way, do join me again at 10 p.m. Later on in the night. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Nakakoni Elizabeth on Sign Language. Enjoy the rest of the programming.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
From the hands that nurture the land to the minds shaping tomorrow, Value Addition is about advancing the well-being of people. It's about unlocking opportunities that create dignified work, strengthen livelihoods, empower families, and build resilient communities.
Kera doka koyo kampuni mabigino ni timo moka ken mutie total magitele wimo pi paro pe dano gitika timo gin maber ni paro pe kopa dano man kid gitika timo pin maber ni daro chan bodikum dano.
In January, I did my first harvest. From there, I got some good honey, around 10 liters from only one beehive.
Project mo wati timune eni bojome total ni branch pe MSL ula hoko pa group yan chairman kumbeti board group kere wa me saving pedak yilu ida pitwa awa po chairman yan wa chair wa saving ai group wa chel wa romo million maromo piare okuwe we kidwe ano at least watika nongo profit more like 1.2 gini.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now.